All right, so we're here at Fantasy Flight's World Championships 2012 with the brand new, newly crowned Joust champion, John Bruno. John, congrats.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about the deck that you're running and the inspiration behind that deck, how it came about.
Well, I've always loved Greg's agenda, the Knights at All Hill.
Yeah.
Because the 2 golden turbines is amazing. I love the jumpers with Targaryen being able to jump in. Through regional season, I played 4 regionals. 3 of them I played Targ Knights at All Hill. I talked and worked a little bit with Nathan Bradley, and he gave me lots of help on it. Tiny Grimes, I tested against him a lot too, and the great LA and San Diego players. And then when the new cards started being released, I saw all these more jumpers, the Long Lances and the Company of the Cat. And I just thought, you know what, when Long Lances come to play and somebody stands, I'm going to keep playing the Street Wave. I'm going to try to get her as many times as I possibly can. I triggered her one game 6 times. Just 1 Street Wave, and I was going to put more influence in and change the deck from what I was playing in regional season to more of a jumping deck. I call it my House of Pain deck because it brings pain and all the characters jump around.
So the idea behind the deck is to stack a bunch of influence, and then jump onto your opponent, basically ambush a ton of characters in.
What you really hope to do is go second most of the time, and if you go second, especially against a Lannister O'Neill deck or a Martell control deck, you let them do their business first, and hopefully you can kill their characters. If you're playing a Martell on Gaston Grey deck, you want to kill the noble. So there's enough burn in there to kill things, and enough character to jump in later on after your opponent's already done their challenges.
Yeah.
And also you want to protect your hand from intrigue. That's the basis of the deck, but there's other control in the deck too.
Well, we noticed a lot of kind of new, it seemed like innovations in this deck. The open with Waste Their Time was a big deal.
Yep.
I noticed you were also running Much and More to either counter Much and More to do it yourself with the Rule by Decree play. You also had a first turn Confession. All of these plays, which typical Knights of the Hill decks have foregone. I hadn't seen them all day. I hadn't seen any other deck running them. Aegon's Hill as well as an example of that.
Recruitment. I bet there's nobody playing Recruitment.
So where did all this stuff come from? What was it that just made this all tick for you? Why Waste Their Time, for instance? What is it that you saw?
The reason I played Waste Their Time, again, I just wanted to find more opportunities to stand the Street Wave, to stand there kneel. So if I played to be a dragon, which you need a power struggle plot, to be able to do that, I decided to look at the power struggle list, and most people will play as a power struggle plot the Lineage and Legacy, but I decided to go with Waste Their Time again for the control issue. Again, another great example of that card. I knew I'd be seeing a lot of Stark Winter, so if my opponent plays at the Winds of Winter to go, or not the Winds of Winter, sorry, on Raven's Wings to go get the whatever that plot was.
Time for Ravens.
Thank you. Time for Ravens.
That's new schoolers.
Yeah,
Time for Ravens.
Time for Ravens. Yeah, us old schoolers call it something different. But no, if they go get the Raven first, I can do Waste Their Time. With my extra 2 initiative, I can let them go get their Raven, and I can pull it out of their hand with Waste Their Time. I can also pull a major character or location or event that I don't need. But the other great play, what's happened is if your opponent is playing Martell, like especially a no agenda deck, with Quentin Martell, usually they lead with the Bannerman coming out of Manning the City Gates, right? City walls.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I play Waste Their Time, I have 3 initiative. I get to go first. I pull the Bannerman out. They're left with one gold and no Bannerman and no cards. So I've been able to do that before too. So
for those watching, a lot of people are just getting into the game. What is it that Street Wave does? Can you just give us a rundown of that card and why it's so important to your deck?
Street Wave will. I had a Rule by Decree, and Rule by Decree will lose my cards, and Street Wave gives me all my cards back. You kneel her any phase to be able to let your opponent choose a card for your discard pile. Most of the time, my opponents look at my discard pile and go, I don't want you to have any of these cards, which is awesome. And if I could trigger her 2, 3, 4 times a round, they're just filling me in my hand, I could do it again. Draw is important in the game, and you can get draw going with Bay of Ice and Meraxes in the deck, and Jogo, but recursion is way better. There's no limit on recursion. As much as you can get back, the more you get back, you fill your hand back up. Using cards again is better than having characters. In my deck, I think I have 25 characters in the deck.
Outstanding. So
Recruitment and Ambush from the Plains and the Street Wave, they're all like another character. They give me characters back. To be a dragon, they're all like another character.
So tell me a couple more questions here. Sure. We'll let you go because I know it's been a long day. Tell me about the history of you in this game and when you came in and how long it's been. I know that you've been in it for a long time.
Yeah. The first World Championship was in 2003. I played in the first World Championship, 90 plus players in the game in that tournament that day, and they cut the top 8. That's all they did. I made top 8 the first year. I lost to Casey Galvin in the first year, who made the newly made Lord, which
God bless that man.
I know, which really was called the Bandit Lord. 2004, I was the top seed going into the cut of 8 and lost in the first round. 2005 was a 2-day event, and you had to qualify on the first day, and the top 16 played the second day, and that's the year I won in 2005 with a Targaryen deck again. And also for those people who always feel like you have to have 60 cards, that deck back then was like 63, 64. This deck today was 63. And I won the World Championship in 2005.
Yeah, did you design a card off of that?
I did. I was able to design the first winter. And then the last year, so 2006 didn't make the cut. 2007, I actually made the finals. And that was the last year they actually had Joust only as a World Championship. 2008, they went to Melee and Joust. But 2007, I made the finals, and I lost in the finals to Sam Than, who made Den of the Wolf. And then since then, 2008 through 2010, I took a break. I was sick and almost died, and decided to take a break from the game because I didn't have a desire to play anymore. And I came back last year in 2011, and I made the top 8 at Gen Con last year. This year, I was the top seed going into the final, the round of 16. I was undefeated and lost in the round of 8. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Awesome, mister. So what is it that all that you've done in this game, all that you've played,
Yep.
What is it that you could tell players watching this at home to take their game to the next level, take their decks to the next level? What can you give advice-wise?
Again, I'm really lucky. I'm fortunate enough to play in an area, Los Angeles, where I have good friends who are good players, and they challenge me a lot. You have to be able to play things differently. The number one thing I will tell you, when I built this deck, I had no, looking on CardGameDB or EGOT Cards, which are great sites, where people build decks. I didn't look at any of those. I don't like to look at people's decks. I want to build my own. So you saw there are a lot of original stuff in this deck, and try different things. Listen to people who are a little more knowledgeable or at least have more experience playing the game. Don't always look at the decks online and play that deck. Take the deck online and tweak it, make it your own deck. Change 10 cards. Try different things and play as much as you can, and that's how you're going to get better.
Awesome, John. Thanks so much for the interview. Congratulations. You
Thanks
deserve it.
Appreciate it.
And have a good one.
Thank you.